How many almonds would you say is the perfect amount?
I don't know, 24.
Well, I am now the proud owner of onealmond.com. How much would you say Google.com is worth?
Billions. Tens of billions of dollars.
Okay, right. And onealmond.com?
Zero.
0 billion or $0?
It wouldn't matter, it's all zero.
It's more than just a domain name. I'm building an empire.
Well, right now the website's just a photo of you holding a single walnut.
Almond.
No, it's not.
TBTL.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
It's Friday. Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Do you just sit around all day thinking of nice things to say to people?
Well, it's not necessarily during the day, but I do like to be nice to people.
You got a dangerous streak and a not dangerous streak.
Poppycock, bull feathers.
Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy.
All right, hello, good morning, and welcome everyone to a Friday edition of TBTL, the show that just might be too beautiful to live.
It's an audiophile's nightmare.
My name is Luke Burbank. I'm your host.
I'm an activist and house party enthusiast.
Coming to you from the Madrona Hill studio, perched high above the mighty Columbia, where we are looking at a spectacular Friday.
Oh, Ma, Pa, it's just beautiful.
Maybe even too spectacular. We may get into the upper 80s, low 90s this weekend.
I feel warm and I'm levitating.
I'll take it, though. I am very, very, very excited that the nice weather is here and that episode 4483 in a collector series has also arrived.
Let the fun begin.
Last night, I was doing the Livewire radio show down in Portland. By the way, thanks to all the folks that came out to see that. Really fun night. I did decide on a sort of a whim to become sort of a performance art prankster on stage involving balloons full of glitter. And
I wish I hadn't done that.
Lesson was learned last night involving glitter and how it sort of goes everywhere, it turns out. That has not been underreported, but I somehow under-remembered it. We'll also, bring you clue number 3 in the Great TBTL Billboard Hunt.
Oh, and the adventure begins again.
Our friend and colleague, John Sklaroff, will stop by. Now, we've already put out 2 hints as to where in these United States this TBTL billboard is going up. And we'll have another hint for you today to see if you can guess where the billboard is going. We've been learning some places it's not going. It's not going across the street from Goldie's Casino above the one-time card room where Luke used to go, where Andrew now likes to throw away his rotted shrimp. It's not going there, but it is going somewhere, and we're going to try to figure that out together. Speaking of my good friend Andrew Walsh, he is the longest-running Crowbro. You know, crows are very intelligent animals. If I'm going to call him something that's non-human, crow is not the worst. He's a co-bro of the program, maybe best known for his depictions of the tall ships. He didn't realize that I was on the line earlier today, and I heard him talking about our professional relationship quietly to himself like he does sometimes in the studio.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
It's an actual recording of Andrew Walsh, who's joining me right now. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Luke. Speaking of our relationship, happy anniversary, my friend.
Wait, what?
You don't remember that today is one of our anniversaries? I literally got you something.
You actually, I have to be honest, you got... Can I say this on the show? You got Walt something.
Oh, I did.
And it arrived.
Oh, good. I haven't even opened it yet. We'll get to that later. I want to focus on us first.
Okay. Well, I'm now feeling quite on my back foot.
This is kind of weird. So you don't remember at all that today is our anniversary. I tell you what, I'm going to give you the gift. It's a gift of audio to celebrate our anniversay. And I think that the gift itself will explain the anniversary.
2-1 to Zanino. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mike Zanino just walked off Minnesota. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Amen, brother. Mike Z. Wow. Second home run tonight. And the Mariners win the ball game, 6-5.
Mike Zanino, a second home run of the game. That one, a game winner.
Hey,
wow,
boys,
he is hot.
They're 500. Come on.
They're 500.
Come on. bone.
They're 500. Come on.
The miracle on dirt.
Nobody likes to talk over a big call like the Bone. I've noticed that recently when he's been like hanging in the studio with Riz.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky. Rick Riz has been the Mariners play-by-play announcer, or I guess they're, the sidekick to Dave Niehaus for 40 years. I think the guy's been around forever. I've never heard anyone call him Ricky until the Bone showed up.
So for
I
those...
kind of like it in a weird way.
For those who don't know, it's actually, I tricked you there a little bit. Tomorrow is our actual anniversary of the miracle.
The Bone sent you.
The miracle on dirt, as we call it. We were on a TBTL road trip way back in June of 2017. It was. We used to have them around this time. Our thon is now about a month away this year's, but it was early June, and you and I were on that road trip, and we heard what we call the miracle on dirt, that walk-off home run against the Twins by Mike Zunino in a mid-season meaningless game.
We were, as the Bone told you, they're 500.
They're 500. Let's go.
So that's actually some nice. We're not going to get into Mariner talk here, but that's some nice perspective. It's been a tough week for the boys, and I appreciate you playing that to kind of put a little wind back in my sails about, that was a time where even getting to 500 was a miracle. We're still at least a couple of games over. We could still take some solace in that. But we had parked the RV in a sort of campground that was near a casino in New Mexico. And I remember we were sitting outside listening to the game, and we were both just kind of saying, there's just no way we're going to win this game. Like, if they were to come back, that would be an absolute miracle. And we somehow manifested it. And then we took a great photograph right after, which I still...
I don't have
you
that
seen
photo.
that photo? I'll try to...
You probably showed it to me in the moment in 2017. I don't know if I've seen it since.
We could almost
Are
use
we
it
on our lawn chairs? Are we lawn chair layering it up out there?
Well, that's somehow I thought maybe the anniversary you were talking about, because that's one of the things that I constantly forget. I bet you if I just put New Mexico into my photo search, I don't think I have that many.
You know what? I think it was Arizona.
No, well, it's coming up under New Mexico for me.
Then you're right. You have a better memory on that stuff. I had Arizona for some reason.
Andrew, this is wild. Okay, the pictures are absolutely unhinged, but I'm still going to send them to you. It is clear that we have been consuming. There's a giant bottle of Jim Beam on the folding table, and then a Fresca.
Whoa, Fresca enters the conversation.
Who knew that there was foreshadowing of Fresca, which actually
here's
isn't a
the
terrible
deal, though.
show.
I don't want to take the fun out of this story, but honestly, most of this, you and I were not sitting around drinking during most of this game.
No, we weren't.
We were driving during most of the game.
Absolutely.
We rolled into the park right around maybe the 8th inning or something. So I think we might have had a few drinks like right away, but there's no way we were like... Unless this is later in the night, there's no way we were pretty like bombed at that point.
No, I guess, well, I'm going to send you this picture of me, and then I'm going to send the picture of you. You don't actually look unhinged. You look fine. And I will point out, the bottle of Jim Beam is full of Jim Beam.
Yes.
It is yet to be consumed. So you're absolutely right. Maybe what it is the delirium of the Mariners winning has me looking like I'm into my cups. And then you actually look much more. I don't know why I texted these to you. I know you don't like that. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So we don't have one of. I was thinking,
we
boy,
don't
that'd
have one
be
of
nice.
The both of us.
But yeah, I guess we didn't have the technology back then. You do look a little unhinged.
I look insane.
You were also. I will give you credit. You were also doing all of the driving. So this is like you after probably
no amount of driving explains how insane I look. In
I mean, it's also it's a close flash photo of your face after
sweaty.
11.
I'm grimy. I'm slimy. I need shower.
If I recall, we drove through like some weather as well. I believe it was really hot, but also didn't we drive through a storm? I think I'm trying to give you as much cover here as possible, but it's all honest. Like, it was a long day of driving in an RV, which, is a very big vehicle, through, I believe, a storm and then through the desert. And then we had this miracle on dirt, of course. So I think that's what we're seeing beaming from your face there.
Well, happy Zunino Day to all who celebrate. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. That actually really, I got to be honest with you, I'm already feeling pretty good on this Friday. The weather is nice. The weekend is looming. Been having some important developments in the realm of the next TBTL-a-thon, some positive developments, it would appear. So I'm feeling good, but now I'm feeling even better. Can I ask you, do you have any big weekend plans?
Big weekend, the biggest one I've ever had. Big weekend.
It's going to be warm where you are, right?
Yeah, it is. I'm both looking forward to something tomorrow, but also kind of bummed because I can't do two things at once. But I do have a lot of yard work that I need to get done, kind of a project in the front yard that tomorrow would be a great day to do. But I have some recording stuff to do in the kind of midday, and then I am heading down to White Center to take in a White Center fish sticks game with some friends. Yeah, and I've been sweating it a little bit. So they're a small operation. I don't want to. This is a very, very small, almost collegiate level, like little baseball organization down there in White Center, the south part of Seattle. And I went to a game last year. It's absolutely delightful. I'm looking forward to it. But I was getting very nervous because I ordered these tickets. I ordered like 4 tickets for us, I think on May 20th. And when I placed my order, I got a receipt immediately that said, thank you for the order. You will receive your tickets on May 1st. And then I kind of checked my notes. I'm like, well, it's May 20th now. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. That was 20 days ago. But I waited. I'm like, maybe it's a typo. Maybe they mean June 1st. So then I kind of put it out of my mind a little bit. And then June 1st came and passed. And then suddenly yesterday, I'm like, wait, this game is in 2 days. It's the 4th now. I don't have any tickets. So then I'm like, I need these tickets for this game. So I clicked on the little, do you need help with your, it's on the receipt, little link. Do you need help with this? Any issues? Click here. I click there. It goes to a total dead end. That's like total, just like page doesn't load. I'm like, okay, well, this isn't great. So I find a public email address for the organization. I'm like, hey, just supposed to go to this game on Saturday, but the tickets haven't been sent to me yet. Any news there? And I as of this morning, I had not heard back, but it seems like something just kicked loose in the system. And literally, since we've been recording, I have in my greedy little hands when I say greedy little hands, I mean digital hands. My greedy little digital inbox has 4 tickets to the Fish Sticks tomorrow. Yeah, so. Well, you have,
it's maybe in earlier years, I would have thought, let's go down to the game. I don't know. It's the Fish Sticks. It's just a kind of a fun little community event. But I feel like we're in a golden age of these kind of smaller teams. Like, have you been hearing about the Portland Bangers?
No.
The Portland Bangers are I guess they're described as a pre-professional soccer team.
Oh, okay.
They're going to play their first season, but I think they're maybe owned by the same people that own the Pickles. But in this case, Bangers, it's like a sausage, like Bangers and Mash.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So their mascot is named Saucy T Sausage. But like, I heard people talking about the Bangers and saying like, yeah, I was trying to get tickets, but they sold out immediately. And I was like, we're immediately selling out tickets to pre-professional soccer now. Like, and the same thing, I know the Pickles games are very well attended in Portland. And I'm guessing the Fish Sticks games as well. Like, you've sort of got the Savannah bananification of sports. And by that, I mean, and to be honest with you, I'm glad that the Savannah Bananas are having a fun time. And if that's something that people really love, I salute them. I don't want to yuck any yums. It's not really for me because it's not baseball. It's like, it's a kind of a cool dance performance where a baseball is occasionally thrown or hit.
Yeah, it's not.
Which is totally fine. It's just not it's not really, it doesn't really feel like baseball to me. But anyway, there are just all these kind of small operations that have popped up that almost become more of a happening. It's not even about the thing on the field as much. It's just like, they just come up with the most fun things to do at the game. It's a sunny day. So yeah, I could see a Fish Sticks game selling right on out and you getting there and they're being like, sorry, dude, no room at the inn.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you've ever noticed this about me, but sometimes I kind of worry about things kind of in advance. I kind of like borrow.
You were worried that Mike Zunino wasn't going to hit that home run all those years ago.
I was worried he wasn't going to hit the home run in the replay a moment ago. But yeah, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to. Again, the tickets are not that expensive. They're like $15 a piece, but with fees or whatever, 4 tickets was like $65, and I don't want to just throw $65 away.
No.
So, but it's also a small organization. I don't want to go in there and be like, I need to talk to your manager. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, if we all showed up and my tickets didn't, or if I didn't have tickets, we would have all just bought fresh tickets. You know what I mean? It's
if it wasn't sold out, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's true. If it wasn't sold out, who knows what's going on there? So I am kind of relieved that I don't have to like kind of because I get stressed out about these things, but then I also want to be very nice about these things.
Yes.
I don't want to be like kind of. I'm trying so hard to not say Karen it up here. I just got to let everybody know why I'm stumbling around. I don't like to do that to people named Karen, but that has become a word that has some. We
have a lot of. I notice how many Karens listen when we do the Dazzling Donors and also the Daily Donors.
Right.
And every time I wince.
I feel
anytime
bad.
I use that term.
But I don't want to be that kind of person, especially if you're talking to like some young person who's like running the ticket booth. And I was like picturing like, well, can I just print out? And also, what is more old manish than printing out a receipt and saying, I don't know, I didn't get the tickets, I only got this receipt, and they'll be like, did you check
the
your
whole
spam
trip down,
or whatever?
You're going to be kind of anxious, like starting whenever it is you print out the paperwork, and then instead of going and it being fun, and are you guys going to take the light rail, the E-line, or is there public transport
that is
there?
the thing. That's one of the reasons why I don't think that I can kind of get into my yard work, because by the yard work I need to do tomorrow is a little bit of a heavy lift. It's not the type of thing that it's a project that once you start it, you kind of got to literally dig in for a while. And so I don't want to kind of get into that and then be like, oh, we now have to start our long trek down to White Center, because I kind of want to make a thing of it. It's not a direct line. Like it is and Genevieve is going with. And so I thought, I think it could be potentially like a 90-minute like public transportation to get specifically down all the way south and then a little bit west to White Center like that. And so I was thinking we can just like leave in the mid-afternoon, make a day of it. Maybe when we're transferring, if we're somewhere like fun, maybe
stop off in South Park or somewhere.
Exactly.
Grab a beer,
grab a sandwich, dude. Like, you just kind of want to make a day of it with Vives and then end up down at the ballpark or whatever in the early evening. I'm assuming the game is probably around 6-ish or something. So that's why I'm kind of like, it's a little bit like I gotta kind of put my desire to work in the yard aside. But that's not to diminish my excitement for the
right. But if that whole time you're doing that, you're also like, but how's it going to go when I show up with my printout?
Yes.
That would have really cast a pall over what is supposed to be actually part of the fun, which is journeying down there and everything.
Yes, and I kept on kind of, again, I don't want to exaggerate it, but when I would think of it, I would think, oh, damn. Like, oh, damn. And then I'd be like, but it's $15. It's like another $15. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, either way, like, don't let this interfere in any way with the fun you will have at the game or leading up to the game. I've been really trying to, even before the tickets came through, just being like, this is not like what I want to remember about this weekend. You know what I mean? When I look back at this, I don't want to be like, well, I was in a bit of a cloud fog because there was some mistake with my tickets. Like, I just was really trying hard to put that out of my head, which clearly I did because I didn't even bring it up during this conversation.
Well, now, okay, but here's the other thing. Now that the Sluggers have hung it up for the season, we do need to do a postmortem with Coach Ben.
So there's no more.
Actually, I don't know that for a fact, but based on how things went at that game, I can't imagine there'll be more games. We got to check in with Coach Ben on that. But now, and the Mariners in free fall, and the Sluggers taking, the Sluggers now done for the season. The Fish Sticks might be our new team. That might be our last hope. We may have to start quickly moving our eggs over into that basket. So I'm glad you're going to be able to see them IRL this weekend.
Yep. How about you? You got any big weekend plans? And if
tomorrow it's going to be.
Go ahead.
Yes.
The biggest one I've ever had. Big weekend.
Let's not short shrift you.
No, please. I don't want to woe is Luke on this, but so tomorrow, Becca and I are going to have a nice day of just enjoying the warm weather in Portland. We're probably going to stop over at her brother and sister-in-law's place. They have a swimming pool, so that'll be kind of nice to do some lounging there. And then we're borrowing her mom's dog, Gigi. So we're going to take Gigi on a long walk and just kind of have a nice, enjoyable day in Portland. Now, the woe is me part is that at 7 a.m. on Sunday, I am getting on a airplane that's flying to Chicago and then getting on another airplane that's flying to Moline, Illinois, the Quad Cities airport, baby, because next week I'm going to be doing some filming in Iowa at the world's largest truck stop. And the thing about getting to Iowa is it takes a few flights, and there was no way for me to fly on Monday because that would have made it impossible for us to do TBTL. So what ends up happening is in order to make all of the scheduling work, I have to basically spend. And so Sunday is supposed to be 91 degrees, and it's instead of lounging by the Willamette River or something, or doing something really fun on a Sunday, on a beautiful Sunday, I'm going to be on an airplane flying to the Quad Cities. But anyway, tomorrow is going to be nice. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. And today also, I have a guy coming over to do an estimate on putting down a new layer of gravel in my driveway. So I've got this house has kind of this, actually like almost like more parking area than I really need. Like, I think the people here before me, they were big, might have been RV folk or something. They come from a much more of a truck culture where it's like you might have multiple vehicles and you might be pulling a fifth wheel, and so I think they really terraced the living tweedle out of it. I don't really care about any of that stuff. Like, that's not my scene. I need enough room to park like 2 cars. But anyway, also it's not paved around here. It's like a thing where there's been gravel that was put down, but all the gravel has now been kind of just like washed away. Or anytime somebody tries to drive up the little incline away from my house, they're like spinning out depending on the kind of vehicle they're in. So I have this guy coming over to give me an estimate on what it's going to cost to put down a new layer of gravel. And if he tells me that it's $100, I would believe it. If he tells me it's $40,000, I would believe it, which puts me in a great position for negotiating.
Yeah,
this.
Exactly.
Literally no idea what this should cost.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I'm buying a little. This is where I am. This is where I am not an adult. One of the things that I'm trying to do is like kind of re-stone some areas of our little garden. Our garden in front has become just super overgrown. And this is one of the projects every year I fantasize about, like really doing the garden up right, like getting trucks here with like having a big pile of mulch dumped off and maybe a big pile of gravel. But instead I'm kind of nipping around the corners of it. And so one of the things I was going to do is take one of these little quadrants of this little garden I was describing on the show the other day and really like rake up all the stones that are there, get them in a pile, kind of dig up all the like kind of weeds and vegetation that have grown up, and then lay down, respread the gravel and then lay down some more. It's not gravel though, it's more like garden stones, right? Like river stones. And so what I'm doing, instead of like doing it right and having like a big pile of stones that is like sitting in front of my
3 yards
house,
of pea gravel, which I just recently wheelbarrowed down a hill.
Sort of sounds wonderful.
It was meditative.
But the thing is, like, that's what you should do, and then you have this big pile which motivates you to get the project done. But instead, I'm doing this like I still live in an apartment and I'm in my 20s. I'm going, every time I go to Home Depot or Lowe's, I just buy another like $5 bag of this river rock. So it's very one thing I've learned is stone isn't that expensive, especially if you're going to buy it in a huge batch like that. And the stone you're buying is gravel. It's not even a river rock. So I'm guessing that it's going to be even more affordable. It's not going to be $100, but I'll bet you. What,
it's going to be.
You think $500 bucks?
Oh,
I think
thousands? Easily $2,000 for the gravel.
Oh, just the gravel alone.
And then I don't know what the spreading. I'm not trying to spread this myself. And also there might need to be an under. So I was last weekend we were over at my sister Sarah and my brother-in-law Josh's house, and Josh is quite the landscaper. They have this their backyard is such an oasis. You should just go, Andrew, and like do a site visit and take some pictures and then just go like, this is what I want to make my yard. Because
it'll
like
just make me sad.
But it's it's aspirational because Josh is just so detailed. So he's built all these raised beds and he grows all kinds of cool like vegetables and herbs and things, which he then uses to cook like phenomenal meals. The grass is like perfect. He's put down these walkways that are different kinds of gravel. And this is, man, you want to talk about some real like king of the hill, old guys standing around talking about something. Get me and Josh talking about different kinds of gravel because it's actually so you have what you want to lay down first. Well, I mean, first of all, you want to lay down some kind of a sand depending on what the surface you're on is, but you can also use a certain kind of gravel that's compacting gravel. And the whole point there is that it actually gets really hard and it kind of creates the base layer. And then you put a more decorative layer of gravel over that gravel, because now you've got the compacting layer, and then you put another one that maybe compacts a little bit less, and that kind of rides on top of the compacted stuff. There's like, I went out to this gravel lot or whatever near my house. The science of gravel is actually pretty shocking to me. I just figured, I don't know, it's some rock, you throw it around or whatever. So this guy's going to, I'm also, to be honest with you, I'm like kind of low-key embarrassed because so many areas of this like huge driveway or parking area, whatever you call it, have now become overgrown. Because what I think what the guy who lived here before me probably did every year was he walked around. All this gravel was here, and he just walked around, and he probably sprayed all of it with Roundup, and just made it so that there was nothing growing up between the gravel and stuff, and like it was just it probably looked pretty nice at one point, and it does not look that way anymore. It has really gone to seed. I mow it. But it's just like, so I feel like this guy, I don't know why I assume he's going to be smoking a cigar, but I assume the guy from the gravel company is going to be smoking a cigar, and he's going to pull up in his like super burly truck. He's going to look around, and I'm going to go, how much to gravel this? And he's going to go, well, you got a lot of work to do before we could even start on that. Like you got to get rid of that grass. You got to get rid of that. You got to put down this. Like I feel like I'm going to kind of be slightly in trouble for how much I've not been maintaining certain elements of the driveway out here. So I'm a little apprehensive.
You know more about this than I do, but I'm interested in a follow-up because I'll bet you not. I'll bet you it's kind of like, if you're having I thought you were just having a bunch of gravel dumped. I didn't know that you're having them kind of do the job as well. And if
well,
so,
I need to find out how much that adds.
I'll bet you I bet you they've seen whatever you're dealing with. I'm sure they've seen worse, and also just have probably a quick way of dealing with it. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Maybe you'll get hollered at. We'll see.
I think you're absolutely right. I think there are probably places that have gone much more to seed than my place. But yeah, to the question of am I going to do it myself? I think there was a time where I thought, yeah, just dump a huge pile here and I'll get to work on it. As I was moving all that pea gravel down the hill, one wheelbarrow load at a time, and that was 3 yards. Yeah. And I think that this will probably need, I don't know, 100 yards, 50 yards, something.
Yeah, that's bigger than I was picturing. I mean, in my memory, yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping that the price is not exorbitant. I don't know. We'll all find out. So that's this afternoon. I'm excited about that. I'm also involved in the project, Andrew, of pulling glitter out of every corner of my life right now, because yesterday on Livewire we were taping the show and Paul F. Tompkins was on, and we thought it would be funny. It was also true, but we thought it'd be funny to kind of let him know that he has the most appearances as a guest in the history of the show. And so I kind of envisioned like it would be fun if like when we announced this, like confetti kind of dropped down from the ceiling, kind of like when you're at the grocery store and you're the 10,000th customer or whatever, and the balloons come down and all of that. Mm-hmm. But that's actually kind of hard to set up day of. And so I thought, well, why don't we get some balloons that have confetti in them? And then when Paul comes out, we'll announce this, the band will play a little thing, and then we'll pull out this big balloon and we'll pop it. And then that'll be kind of like a funny thing. And so we sent our production fellow to go get the balloons. And I could just kind of tell that everyone at every step along the way kind of thought this was a bad idea. First it was like Eben, our technical director, said, as we were like rehearsing it with the balloons, Eben was like, have we gotten clearance from the venue that it's okay to pop this? And I thought, well, and what I kind of hadn't really factored in was they hadn't put confetti in the balloons. They had put glitter in the balloons.
That's like an attack. Like you really, I'm interested in hearing where this goes. But
you were really fit in with the Livewire staff last night.
Well,
Andrew.
I know, like, so you know how, and we might even do this later today if time permits. But we were talking about maybe doing a "What's in the Box" segment where we open things, that listeners have sent us. And I'm friends with a couple of guys who've been doing that for a long time, or at least they were, until some listener. I don't know if this was a listener who thought they were just being funny and loves these guys, or somebody who's actually trying to ruin their day. But like they put one of those like kind of glitter bombs in a box, and like they opened that in the studio, and it just like ruined a bunch of equipment. That was years ago. So like somebody.
This is a radio person we know?
This is a podcaster that I'm friends with, but they did like basically a "What's in the Box" segment. They had been doing
somebody
it for
glitter
years.
bombed them.
Somebody glitter bombed them, and I think about that all the time. I mean, we just even got a little bit of Genevieve got a card or something for Christmas that had a little bit of glitter on it, and we were cleaning it for days. So the idea of glitter the society has realized that what glitter truly is, which is it's an attack.
Yes, I think you're right about that. I think I was maybe the last person to get the memo, even though we've talked about glitter being considered the herpes of the crafting world, in that it will continue on in your life for years and years, potentially.
You can manage it, but you can't get rid of it.
You can manage it. You still will be able to windsurf and kickbox.
You can ride a horse.
But your life, will be forever changed by this. So I just thought this would be funny and a kind of a cool moment. And otherwise, me just saying, you're the most all-time guest, and the band goes, do, 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 do. Like, I don't know. So So Eben is like, do we have permission from the venue? And then he goes and asks, and the venue's like, yeah, that's fine. We can do that. And then I'm telling our photographer, Jenny, I'm like, okay, we're going to do this thing where we pop this balloon over Paul F. Tompkins, and it's going to be glittery. It might be kind of a funny shot. You try to get, she's like, yeah, totally. She goes, but let me just ask you this. Is he a veteran? Or has he been through anything where the popping of the balloon? Now, that's a very Portland question, but also, I guess, legitimate. Like, is the popping of the balloon going to scare Paul F. Tompkins? Yeah. Less even the glitter, but just the, like, because there are people who a balloon popping near them could be kind of scary or traumatizing or triggering. So I was like, I don't think so. Then it was like Elena, who was going to be holding the balloon while I popped it, was like, I need to check his outfit first, because he's a very snappy dresser. And if we put glitter on his outfit, that could make him mad. And it was just like, at every single point, people were going, basically, like, these are reasons why I'm concerned about this happening.
Honestly, I'm interested in hearing where this goes, but I am the popping. It wouldn't occur to me like the sound being triggering or something. But just as somebody who listens to a lot of Paul F. Tompkins and I know him to be a very sweet man. I believe, I don't know him personally, but his public persona is to be a very, very sweet man who has very strict boundaries, I feel like, as well. I mean, that's just, I listen to a lot of Comedy Bang Bang, and it sort of seems like if Paul F. Tompkins is not digging what you're putting down, he'll kind of let you know. And he is a very snappy dresser. And right now in the story, I am very concerned about what's going to happen if you glitter bomb him.
Well, so I started to lose my nerve on the whole thing, but we had these two cool ass balloons and I thought it would be potentially a funny moment. And so I said to Paul backstage, I said, hey, Paul, I just need to clear something with you. And I didn't want to give away the exact surprise. I said, there may be a moment in our interview with you where there is some kind of a glitter/confetti present. And I can really try to make sure that we don't actually get it on you, or we try to kind of sort of, the glitter goes past you, but not so much on you. He goes, well, if there's glitter, it's going to go on all of us.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. I said, well, should we not do it? He goes, no. That's
okay,
fine.
Great.
He goes, I travel with a lint roller. And I said, okay.
Great.
I go, is that consent? He goes, enthusiastic consent.
I love that.
Like,
that's great.
Like,
I'm so glad you did that. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. But so then, of course, I have this pin, this like comically long pin that I have gotten from the people that run the Alberta Rose Theater. They just literally had this pin in their office for some reason. And we introduced Paul F. Tompkins. The band is playing. He's coming out. And I realized now this is going to be the point where, because we're going to tell him you have the most appearances in the history of the show. And Elena's going to pull this balloon out from under the table, and then I'm going to pop it. And I can't find my pin. I don't know what has happened to the pin. It's not on the table. And I'm like, I have no fingernails. I'm like, I have a pen, but this balloon is actually pretty well designed. I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm looking around like, and then at the last second, as he's sitting down, I just like see the pin has rolled over to the far edge of the table, and I snag it.
I'm going to say, as he's about to sit down, you realize it's on his chair, pointing upwards like a tack. No.
And he had not enthusiastically consented to that at all. So anyway, so he sits down, and we welcome him to the show, and we're riffing a little bit, and then we do the thing. I say, hey, by the way, this is this is a kind of an important moment for the show. You have now you hold the record for most appearances in the history of Livewire, and the band plays a thing, and everyone's cheering. And Elena grabs the balloon dutifully and holds it up over him, and I try to poke it, and it doesn't pop at first, and then I like really just jam the pin into it, and it explodes. And Andrew, there is so much effing glitter. Yeah. Like, I didn't understand, because Ashley, our production fellow, I said, this has to have a lot of confetti in it. That's what I kept trying to. And again, I'm not thinking of glitter when I'm not using the word glitter ever. I'm using the word confetti. I'm somehow thinking they're going to put paper, shredded up paper inside this balloon. I guess that's not a thing. So I was saying to Ashley and saying through back channels, I was like, please try to get the most confetti they'll put in the balloon. And when Ashley brought the balloon, she goes, this is the most that they would put in here. And now I understand why.
Who's they? Do you mean
the people at Lipman Party Supply of Portland,
I thought so.
Oregon.
Okay, so you did buy a glitter balloon. You didn't have people in backstage pouring glitter into this thing. Okay.
No. And I'm also going to say this. It's large, very large chunks of glitter, which was it's not the kind that you think of that you might get in a little tube.
That's what I was picturing. Because
I probably have.
Awful.
I literally have showered. I've slept an entire night, worked out, and showered, and I still probably have some of it in my hair or whatever. But like, This was so. Anyway, I didn't realize until I popped the balloon that it was a tremendous amount of glitter that just went everywhere. And Paul took it like an absolute champ. He laughed off. He had a giant piece of glitter that was inside his glasses for the whole interview that was almost obscuring his vision. Everybody laughed. It went over great. The crowd loved it. I think we got a great photograph. This is where I may have taken things too far, Andrew. We're joking about the glitter and the confetti, and we're talking and what a bad idea this was, and da-da-da. And there was some kind of a moment in the conversation where I forget what Paul was doing, but it occurred to me that we were in the perfect comedic moment for me to pop the second glitter balloon, because nobody even knew that there was another balloon down there. We had a backup for some reason. I don't know, in case that went wrong with the first one. And this comedic moment opened up, and I just, like, without even really thinking it through, I just grabbed this other balloon and, like, popped it. And it went everywhere. Not so much even on Paul this time, but on me and Elena. And this one somehow had more glitter in it than the first one, including, don't get mad at me, my brand new computer that I just got. And it was the best part of the night, Andrew. It got because nobody knew there was another balloon. It was, I don't know if any of this will even be on the radio. It's highly visual. It's probably would be confusing if you're a radio listener. Why is the crowd freaking out again? But it was in the moment. So much fun. The problem was it was covering my computer. I could almost not read the screen on my computer. It got in everybody's water. Everybody has water up there. The water was like, it was like a glitter soup in everyone's water. Eben, our technical director, who had said, maybe this isn't a great idea, is having to run and try to replace everybody's water. It's all over the carpet now of the Alberta Rose Theater. Suffice it to say, and I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but I stayed there until, I don't know, 10:30 at night, vacuuming the stage with the shop vac and because I felt like that is the least I could do at this point, having basically ruined everyone's life associated with the facility for this. And so I ended up staying there as best I can, dealing with the glitter. I mean, this is our last show of the season. We'll be back in the fall. We'll see if there's still glitter on that stage. I tried to vacuum up every single bit of it that I could, but I know that I played the drop. I wish I hadn't done that to introduce this story. I don't think I wish I hadn't done that. That's a lot of negatives, dude. I think it was still fun and worth it. But I also felt bad because I thought it was funny and the crowd thought it was funny, but almost everyone associated other than Paul had kind of indicated that they were, let's just say, medium on the idea.
Well, I'm glad Paul was into it, but you're not answering the biggest question that I think is on everybody's mind, which is who's the poor SOB that Paul knocked off of the number one position? Who was
that's
the
best
guest?
Part.
Yeah.
Hari Kondabalu, who's booked for next fall and will retake the title, meaning we got to get 2 more balloons.
Will tie the title or retake the title? That'll
I guess tie the title.
So
I guess tie the title. So
that's
maybe 1 balloon for Hari.
Of,
so I mean, it was it's a completely and also we were backstage. Laura, our executive producer, who is very logic based and very kind of literal at times. I mean, also just so funny and so good at her job. But it's well, I was trying to go back through the archives and double check, cross-reference, if we're totally accurate on this thing of Paul being the most frequent guest. And I was just we're just calling it that. If somebody goes back and finds that somehow our numbering is off or something, I think we'll all live probably. But that's my general, as you know, working with me, that's my general thought on things. But I believe that we know that it was Hari Kondabalu, and we know that Hari will at least move back into a tie come next fall when he's going to be on the show.
Okay, good. So no blood feud there. Hey, Luke.
No, but I did wake up with glitter in my bed. And it felt, like I'd had quite the wild night. I woke up today, there was glitter in the bed with me.
I woke up with glitter in my bed one time. I didn't even know she was spending the night. I have what a great unpredictable joke for me. I want
that
to.
That is unpredictable.
And this is a
kind of humor.
This is a kind of a strange time to do this, but it occurred to me there's something I really wanted to do on the show today that involves listeners that I'm going to do right now before we go to the Dazzling Donor, because we're talking about big weekends, and the listeners are out there creating special events for listeners to take part in, for other listeners to take part in, and it's my job to let people know about these things, because if we don't let people know about these things, Luke, nobody's going to show up, and I feel bad that that I've been letting these sort of linger in my inbox. So I'm going to let you know about another sort of what listener Annie is calling Tens Helping Tens event, Food Lifeline in Seattle's South Park neighborhood. Annie organized one of these before where she got a bunch of tens to sign up and help, I think, package and distribute food to people who need food in Seattle's South Park neighborhood. It's called Food Lifeline, and you need to sign up if you want to partake in this one. It will take place on Saturday, June 21st. Yeah, that's my mom's birthday, but I mean, that's unrelated, but I know
that's
I just
how
need
I
to
celebrate,
say it,
by helping
exactly
folks who are suffering food insecurity.
Saturday, June 21st from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if that sounds like something you would like to do on Saturday, June 21st, you need to sign up in advance, and you need to sign up by June 10th, which is coming up quickly here. So you go to your email. It looks like an email Annie at tbtl10sgiveback@gmail.com.
Nice.
Annie at, let's see here, it's tbtl10sgiveback@gmail.com, and Annie will help you sign up for that event. I think that's a really cool thing, and I think this is a really cool thing, too. We're talking about baseball before. Krista in Eastlake is organizing a Rainiers meetup, a Tens meetup at a Rainiers game. That is August 10th. It's a Sunday game, August 10th, 1:30 p.m. It says, TBTL is Rainiers fans. Please RSVP either on the Facebook, if you're over there on the Stens page, or let's see, you can also email Krista at tbtlseattle10s@gmail.com. Do that by June 30th, and it costs $16. It includes a seat, a ballpark meal, which is a hot dog, goldfish, and a water bottle. Goldfish, I believe, the snack. You're not actually going to get a goldfish in a bag to take home as a pet, I believe. But TBTLSeattle10s@gmail to reach out to Krista about getting tickets to that. Only $16. Rainiers games
How much
are a
more
lot
for
of
me
fun.
to stand where Cole Young was standing when he got the news that he was going up to the majors?
I know, so sweet. How do you feel about the mustache situation there? I miss it, man.
I love the mustache. First of all, as a person who can't grow I mean, listen, I don't want to get into talking about people's bodies, et cetera, but man, Cole Young, handsome young feller. I was getting early Don Mattingly vibes when he had the stash, and I was sad to see it go. And I also think his performance has dipped as the stash. You know, his performance being he got a base hit and then he hit into a fielder's choice that Mastroboni legged out in extra innings, which was still a
big
cool
moment, though. Big moment,
huge moment.
Yeah,
and like but yeah, I would like him to bring the stash back. I thought the stash was a nice look for him. So
yeah,
I have to say that I really. My heart is warmed when I hear about and I think about the Tens getting out there and doing fun things together that benefit other people. So I want to say thanks to the folks organizing that stuff. And
absolutely,
if you're near where one of those events are, please go join them and have a great time with some other people who, for some reason, tolerate this podcast.
We was hoping for some razzle-dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle.
That's right, man. Razzle-dazzle.
On your mark.
On your mark.
Get set.
Get set.
Now ready.
Ready. Go.
Everybody razzle dazzle.
Speaking of people who not only tolerate this podcast, Andrew, but support it financially, let's thank some dazzling donors. These folks are donating a dazzling amount of dough. And we would not be here doing this if not for folks like Samir Qureshi, who's in Porter Ranch, California.
Porter Ranch.
Yeah, that's Porter Ranch. I don't know. I'd be guessing. I feel like it's a suburb or even an exurb of Los Angeles.
It is the LA area because I'll tell you what, Luke. I pre-read this message yesterday, and not only did I pre-read this message, I sent it to a friend of mine because I'm gonna. I don't usually. This might be history here. Trigger warning.
Hold on, let me get a balloon full of confetti. I want to pop it over somebody. This is exciting.
This is the first ever trigger warning on a Dazzling Donor message, and it's because this is going to make you so damn hungry. Like what we're about to read, if we can get through it without just like closing our computers and running down to LA to one of Samir's restaurants, we are heroes. We are broadcast heroes.
Okay, I have not pre-read this, so I'm about to experience this in real time. Samir says, TBTL has been my daily escape from the Today Times. Even when I lost my job in January 2024, I kept donating because my 9, shout out to my amazing partner, knew how much it means to me. Oh, that's an interesting negotiation within a family partnership structure. Hey, I know that right now I'm not super employed, but I would like to keep donating to this podcast. How do you feel about that for the family bookkeeping? So shout out to Samir's partner for co-signing this. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Samir says, this year I took a wild leap and I opened not one, but 2 quick service restaurants, White Rice in Montebello and Panda Sal's in Bellflower. Okay, now I know exactly. If Porter Ranch is near Montebello and Bellflower, I know exactly where that is. If there are any LA 10s who are hungry, come by. Listen to this, guys. At White Rice, we serve Filipino silog bowls featuring favorites like crispy lechon, savory chicken adobo, and tofu and mushroom sisig for our vegan friends. All served on top of garlicky rice with a sunny side up egg. Are you kidding me?
Now, Luke,
right now?
can you do that again in your best Alec Baldwin?
Yes.
I didn't even hear it. Wasn't until I heard you reading it out loud that I realized this is like one of those Blue Apron commercials that used to be ubiquitous.
Dishes like crispy lechon, savory chicken adobo, and tofu and mushroom sisig for our vegan friends.
Very nice.
All served on top of garlicky rice with a sunny side up egg. Don't forget our ube pandasal with ube whipped butter for something a little sweeter. It's Ube's world, Andrew. We just live in it. Are you familiar with the whole Ube situation?
I don't know if I am. What is Ube? I feel like it's something that I've had, but I just can't picture right now.
Ube is a kind of a purple yam that is native to the Philippines, and it's added to a lot of stuff. It's really having kind of a moment, particularly in California. I think we had a story on Sunday morning. I wasn't the correspondent, but I remember my friend Young Kim was like, "Oh yeah, I've been out in California doing a story on ube." So it's kind of a sweet additive to things. Anyway, people love ube. Over at Panda Sal's, it's all about smash burgers on a sweet and savory Panasal bun.
That sounds so damn good. I seriously, I sent this to my buddy. I'm just like, we got to move to LA. Like, my friend is actually moving back to the West Coast. He's like, yeah, this makes me want to move back to the West Coast so much. That's how much I've been salivating over these, just the words alone.
I know. This sounds so good to me. So listen, if you are anywhere in the greater LA, greater Porter Ranch, greater Montebello or Bellflower area, hit up one of Samir's restaurants. Hit up either White Rice or the other one is called Panda Sal's. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yes.
Hit up one of those places. Samir says, hey, and because TBTL has given me so much, I want to give back. Introduce yourself as a 10 and you get 10% off your meal.
Nice. Use promo code I'm a 10.
That's right.
Only just
Use
say it.
promo code I'm salivating onto my shirt.
That's right.
I just you walk into the restaurant, you just have like water pouring down onto your shirt. He'll know. And then here's what I would say. You get the 10% off, you put it right back in the tip jar.
Yeah,
That's just free money. You get that 10% discount, and then you just reinvest it back in Samir and Samir's employees. Thanks to Luke, Andrew, and John and the 10s for being part of my journey. What you do is so important. Samir, thank you, and really good luck with the restaurants.
Yeah.
Next time I'm down there, if I'm anywhere close, I will definitely stop by for something. So thank you, Samir. We appreciate you. Maestro?
On your mark.
On your mark.
Get set.
Get set.
Now ready.
Ready. Go.
Everybody rattle, daddle.
It's Brett and Amy Hansen. Pronounced, we believe in you. I love it. I needed that. They're in Seattle, Washington. And Brett and Amy say, hey, gang, thanks for another year of excellent daily content for our ears. My wife and TBTL progenitor, Amy, and I were delighted that we could go dazzling again this year with our fives. Rockwell. Who can forget Rockwell, by the way? It's just it's a name that jumps out at you like a rat in your underwear drawer.
Sorry, Rockwell.
Five, Rockwell, he of the Murder, She Wrote piano playing, and his brother Mac, of all things, Dungeons and Dragons. Support your local movie enterprise. For us in Seattle, we're members of the Grand Illusion Cinema who are moving and have pop-ups until they find their new home. Go to grandillusioncinema.org. It's so funny, Andrew, because when I imagine Brett and Amy Hansen and Rockwell and all of them, I'm not kidding. Maybe because, did you bump into them in the U District or something?
I've run
imagine
into
them
Brett a couple of times, yeah.
I imagine them at the University Heights Farmers Market, which is kitty corner from where the Grand Illusion used to be. Like when their name comes up, does your brain do this sometimes? Like you orient a person in sort of space for whatever reason. It must have been because you mentioned at some point running into them in the U District, running into Brett in the U District. But when their names come up, I just picture. So there's that it was like an elementary school. I think it's a community center now called University Heights. And it's got that big parking lot, and they used to do anyway, farmers markets right across from the Jack in the Box. They're at
45th,
what are we talking?
45th and the Ave, right? Or no, I'm sorry, that's 50th, right?
Yeah, and then if you were to go kitty corner from University Heights, you'd be at the Grand Illusion, where in college I saw so many cool movies. I love that place, and I was really bummed to hear that they were taking a break, but they were very clear. We're the Grand Illusion folks. They're not closing down. They're just moving. So I'm so glad to hear that they are that they're going to be popping up somewhere else. If you like physical media like we do, Scarecrow Video is still out in these streets as a nonprofit with Ken Jennings on the board now. Slanging tapes and DVDs and Blu-rays and Laserdiscs by mail, too. You can go to scarecrowvideo.org. Have you ever, on one of your Gallivants, Andrew, have you ever been cruising around on Roosevelt and popped into Scarecrow Video?
Oh, yeah. I think that we are members. Now,
Nice.
The problem is we don't have a good device anymore to play DVDs. My old Xbox had the ability to play DVDs, and Genevieve was listening to a podcast that isn't around anymore. That was a great podcast that focused on the like kind of war movies, however you define war movies. And it was the
Wasn't that like, didn't Roderick host
yeah,
that?
it's John Roderick and our buddies who also had the other podcast where they got glitter bombed, coincidentally. Same people there. So anyway, so we used to rent movies. Well, really, Genevieve did, and we definitely support Scarecrow Video. Unfortunately, we don't rent from them as much, but it is a very important organization to keep going. I could not agree with that more.
If you need to borrow my DVD Blu-ray player, you can, although my dad is currently locking it up with a bunch of weird DVDs of some British show that stars Sean Bean. It stars like a Sean Bean, he of Lord of the Rings, and also, I guess, Game of Thrones fame, right?
One does not simply give away one's Blu-ray player, yes.
And, like, this is how weird I am. I'm so hyper-specific about this shelf that is under the TV that's built into the wall that the Blu-ray player sits on.
Yeah, you don't want cables and stuff hanging off.
I don't want cables. Yeah. You know me and the cable management now, and I'm proud of where I'm at with that. But it was so nice. It just was like very clean. It had one device on it. And then I come home one day and it's just got all of these, like a box set of some random British show starring like a 20-year-old Sean Bean. And just like everywhere. And I'm like, Walt, don't read the room, bro. I've got a whole thing going here. So now I have tucked those way in the back of the shelf.
This isn't a place where people are supposed to live comfortably.
Or watch DVDs on the DVD player. That is not what this place is about. This is about satisfying some ineffable hole in my being that can never be filled, but I'm going to keep trying. Anyway, thank you very much to Brett and Amy and Rockwell and Mac for supporting TBTL. Oh, by the way, scarecrowvideo.org, I want to mention, because they also mail stuff out. So if you're somewhere far away from Scarecrow, but you just want to go check out what they're doing, you can do that. Amy, Brett, by the way, listed as senior neti pot correspondents.
Oh, yeah. Very into the neti pots. Yeah.
Signing out from the U District. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Hello and welcome to Top Story.
All right, our top story. It's a Friday, which means we've got another update, another clue in the Great TBTL Billboard Hunt. Which, of course, means also a visit from our dear friend and colleague, TBTL employee numero uno.
Oh, my God. He made it.
John Sklaroff. Hey, buddy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. So another week, another update in this contest. Do you want to sort of, I don't know, reset and reframe in case somebody's tuning in for the first time?
Yeah, sure. So we are putting up a billboard somewhere in America. We've determined at least that much so far.
Nice.
We're giving out clues every week, and the winner, if anyone guesses the location, we're going to give them a little prize at the end. In the meantime, we've given out 2 clues so far. A bunch of people have sent in guesses, so I'm here for clue 3.
Nice.
How's that as a reset?
It's perfect.
Yeah, great.
Now,
great.
the first clue was that it's in the United States of America.
Yes, it's in America. Yeah.
And the second clue was an audio clue, which was an idea Andrew had that I feel was very strong, and it has apparently been it's been creating all kinds of interesting responses too. Andrew, do you still have that audio clue around?
Am I bugging you? I don't mean to bug you.
That's just the short version of it, but that's the important part. Something that I have dubbed an anti-clue. I believe a clue that, that does more to how do I say that word, Luke? How does one say that word? Obfuscate the issue more than actually help. But
No. It's helped me have some joy return to my life because I've been talking to tens at like Livewire events and other places where I happen to be chatting with someone who knows about the show. Even my own brother. When we were at we were hanging out with the family last weekend, and I just love how absolutely confusing that clue was.
Did you tell? So is this your brother David from the basement?
This is my brother David from the basement.
So he's a regular listener of the show.
I did not
you
tell
spill
him.
the beans? You didn't tell him,
No,
really?
it was really hard.
Really?
It was weird, honestly. Like it wasn't weird. He didn't make it weird. He took it in stride, but it felt weird to me to be sitting there with my beloved brother. And not sharing information with him, but I didn't because I was just like, I did show him what the billboard will look like. That much. I was not. I didn't tell him where the billboard would be. I didn't tell him. He gained no useful information about the location of the billboard. I did allow him to see what the image will be, and I will tell you what. It had the desired effect.
John, do we know, and again, we can't talk about what the billboard is. I think people are going to be pretty delighted when they see it. But I did, not to brag, but I did, this is my first foray into billboard design, and I have a lot of anxiety about whether or not they're going to is it high res enough? Have we gotten any response from the billboard company
billboard people.
Hey, this, and I don't mean do they approve of the design? They have to. Right. We're paying them. Yeah. But is it big enough? Is it do they have what they need from me?
You know, I've reached out a couple times. They're like, hey, making sure this is good. I haven't heard, and I've been in contact with the sales rep, and he is not since asking those questions. Okay, well, and he has not indicated any issues.
Good,
and
that's good news. To quote Gary Gnu, no GNUs is good GNUs.
Right.
So,
right.
Okay, so that's where we're at. It's somewhere in America, and somehow Bono saying, "Am I bugging you? I don't mean to bug you."
Yeah.
Also, if interpreted in the right way, could put people in the direction of this place. What is? Do
you want?
What are some of the? We want to
get some of the guesses so far.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
Which, by the way, shout out to DFTB. Please send in your response too. I want to hear what his guesses are now that he's seen it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he has not submitted a guess. All right, so we've on a bunch of people. The three main ones that people have guessed are all U2 specific. So we have Denver, because Red Rocks, as Andrew pointed out to us pre-show, is where Rattle and Hum was recorded.
Yeah,
this is Red Rocks. This is the edge.
So a lot of people have been guessing Denver. A lot of people guessing Joshua Tree. Of course, that's one of U2's most famous albums. I like the buzzer element. That's a new.
Yeah.
There's also apparently at least 2 towns called Bono in America. One in Ohio and one in Arkansas. That multiple people have been guessing those.
That's great. Also not correct, but great.
Yeah. And then I'll just say also there's because the bugging part, Bug Tussle, Alabama, was also
now that's creative thinking, and I like it.
And so wrong.
Yeah, so we got a lot. I won't get into. There's so many guesses after 2 clues. We don't need to get into all of them, but I will special shout out. I forget who sent it in. Somebody did say Utica, New York, so I do appreciate. I appreciate that one personally, but also not right.
It's a Utica thing.
We are comfortable, sort of clarifying and verifying that it is not any of those places.
Correct.
It is not. It's not Red Rocks. It's not Bug Tussle. It's not any of the towns named Bono. It's not even the Edge, Missouri.
Is that a place?
No. It's not Larry Mullins Jr., Virginia.
3 billboards outside of the Edge, Missouri.
It's not those places, but those are great guesses. Those are all
they are. I love them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so we're here for clue number 3.
Yeah.
Of course, I have to set you up with a little drum roll.
It's a short one, right?
That was enough time, by the way, for me to check my voicemail and read the transcription that the guy from the gravel company is not coming out today, Andrew.
Oh, jeez.
So I know, right? After I was getting all nervous for nothing. But I'm
also,
sorry. Back
like,
to
that affects the broadcast now. We had so much kind of cliffhanger action hanging on that.
I know.
Jeez.
It's like, and honestly, it's like I've been out to this place. Let's just see what Amanda has to say.
I
Here
love that this is how the. I love that
this is all clue 3.
Had someone call in the office this morning, and Tony is not going to be able to make it out to your estimate. So I was calling to try to reschedule it. If you could give me a call back, that would be great.
Tony.
I think honestly, you guys could you guys could work without you can get by without Tony for 30 minutes before he comes over here. But anyway,
Tony. All right, I think we need.
That's not what we're here to talk about.
No, we need the drum roll again.
We're here to announce clue number 3.
It's going to be such a letdown when they hear it.
All right, John, clue number 3 in the Great TBTL Billboard Hunt.
Luke and Andrew almost hitchhiked through the state this place is in.
Okay.
So that does narrow it down.
Yeah. Yeah, this might involve a little going back and listening to some of those shows when we hitchhiked down the sort of route of the Mississippi River to figure out where we went and where we didn't go and where we almost went. So we almost hitchhiked through the state where the billboard location is. Almost.
Yes.
Right, just the state. So if you can identify the state, then you've certainly narrowed it down. We haven't even identified the state yet. Now, I want to be very clear. When we say Luke and Andrew, this means together as part. This isn't part of like Luke's drifter years before I knew him, right? This has to be official TBTL hitchhiking.
No, this is the officially sanctioned.
Okay, good.
Project that we did very famously, not what I call the lost years, where I was.
That's right.
I was a Rolling Stone gathering no moss through various Midwest towns.
All right, that's good to know. Well, I think the listeners, I'm really, really impressed with those listeners' responses. Like those were very creative, and they almost make me wish we were going to some of those places just because I like the answers and the way.
Bug tussle.
Yeah, bug tussle. Maybe that's next year. We put up a billboard in bug tussle.
Where's Bug Tussle again?
Alabama, I believe.
Kentucky. There might be a few.
There might be a few.
I'm on Bug Tussle, Kentucky. I'm looking at the old Bug Tussle General Store.
There's also one in Oklahoma. Somebody sent in too.
What is a Bug Tussle? Is it fighting with a bug?
Sounds like it.
Tussling?
What
tussling
is
with an
a
insect?
Bug tussle.
Yeah, if there's 2 Bug Tussles, or was that just somebody's last name? Boy, you look at the Bug Tussle General Store and you do realize that Main Street is dying.
I'd like to point out a website called banjohangout.org. Gives them the origin of being a bug tussle.
Yeah.
Bug tussle is a wonderfully evocative phrase, but what does it mean? This is actually not.
They're not going to answer the question.
There's nothing.
This is like, how do you hard boil an egg and instead you get somebody's life story? Yeah.
Once again, banjohangout.com has let me down.
It's .org.
I got to
So-
find a better news source for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So remind me, how many clues are we giving out? Is it 5 total?
There's gonna be 5. So there's 2 more clues after this that will hopefully narrow things down more or make things more concrete or easier to figure it out.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I mean, and that's by design. Just so you know, there is a plan in place.
Yeah.
Where we started with the aperture wide open on this, and we're going to be kind of giving folks a little bit more information to go on. So now you can kind of, I think, if you remember anything about that hitchhiking trip, you can sort of rule out like the state of Hawaii.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Like you can, like we're. Is it okay for me to say we're focusing down on like more the middle part of America? Is that okay? Am I giving away too much?
I mean,
well, if I say
fair.
if we almost hitchhiked through the state, we're not talking about we almost hitchhiked through Florida.
Right. And I mean, I think can we just say, I mean, Sorry. How many times can I say, I mean, can we? We can reiterate where we hitchhiked, right? Can we just say that now on the show? We've said it many, many times. It's a huge part of TBTL lore.
Part of the public record.
It's part of the public record. It's canon. We hitchhiked with a cannon from the Twin Cities.
Wait, can I TV
up.
time out you guys real quick? As the person who's going to be receiving all the guesses, don't we want people to have to work for this and figure it out themselves? Like they have to go back in the archives and listen, or you just want the guesses to be flooding in?
You're just trying to drum up the numbers.
Hashtag engagement, which is kind of one of John's jobs, which so I don't.
Also, I don't want to receive 1,000
I don't begrudge that.
Okay, well, you guys can go back. It's pretty easy to figure out where we hitchhiked to and from back in, this would have been 2018 or 19, I think, probably, because if we just relived the Miracle on Dirt, that was 2017, and the hitchhiking trip was a year or two after that. So you can kind of figure it out and what swath of the country we went through. And so this clue, just to be very clear, is going to help people identify the state, but we're not looking, the answer is not a state. The answer is an area, a city, a township, a village, whatever, inside of the state. But this will at least help you narrow down the state, hopefully, that we're talking about.
But I think what Andrew wants to clarify is that if you figure out the state that we're talking about, that is not going to be a sufficient answer to win the competition. You've actually got to name the actual place where the billboard is going up.
Now, let me ask you guys, and we should have talked about this off air, and I apologize if you're going to be mad at me for having this conversation on air, but if somebody somehow sort of identifies the state, should we reveal that next week? Should we kind of narrow down to the state next week when you come on the show?
I think we can.
We only have two more clues.
The clue next week really hones in. Well, now I'm
you're right. You're right. The next clue will also. Yeah,
because right now we're giving a swath of the country. Next week the clue is more specific to that
state it is. Okay, sounds good. Well, I think things are going to start shaking loose here. You guys are doing great, no matter how much I try to obscure things with.
Am I bugging you? I don't mean to bug you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can I also say there's
next week's clue is off of Zooropa.
That's right. Zoo TV.
There's also
I believe I saw that tour at the Kingdom with the Mummy.
Wow, how was it?
They came out of a giant egg, which was echoes of Spinal Tap.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that was a huge wall of TVs, right?
Yes,
behind them and
I think that was the one.
Visual experience.
Yeah, it was. I think that was the tour. What I remember was they came out of a giant bejeweled egg. Now that might have not been Zoo TV. That might have been the one before. But I did see you two play the Kingdom, which tells you how old I am.
Yeah.
What are you saying, John? I'll shout out real quick. In Slack, some tens create a billboard speculation channel. So if you're really into this and you want to brainstorm with some other tens, you should jump into that Slack channel too, I would say.
Yes.
Because there's some fun watching in real time as people are like, well, this means this. Maybe this is this has also been a fun part of this for me too. And so
I love it.
I want at least one listener to be basically that Charlie Day meme from It's Always Sunny. There's the strings going up everywhere in their little windowless room as they try to figure this out.
Who is Pepe Silva?
Is that the actual thing that he's trying to figure out?
I think so. Who is Pepe?
I'll trust you on that. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, John, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This has actually turned out to be really fun. So thanks for helping put this together. We appreciate it, man. All right.
Absolutely.
And people, if you have a guess, email john@tbtl.net. And one other thing, and I know I didn't ask permission on this or run this by y'all, and I know we're not trying to cloud the message here, but while we have John on the show, if you have a favorite TBTL moment, we are accepting your nomination for what you think the greatest moment in TBTL history is. Ideally, if you have the episode number, that would help. But you can also email those ideas to john@tbtl.net. So
yeah, it's really fun to see people share some of their favorite moments. That's been really cool.
We just need validation. That's what the project is.
That's the project.
Project validation.
Can
you remind us when we did something that made you laugh, please?
Since this gravel guy isn't showing up today, I've been feeling pretty low. I really need something. So anyway, all right. Thanks, John. Appreciate you, man.
Guys, I'll catch you later.
This is my box. This is my box. I never travel without my box.
Oh, what's in the box?
In the first drawer, I keep my magic stones.
Oh, what's in the box?
Licorice, licorice, black sweet licorice, black sweet licorice. Have some.
All right, Luke, I mentioned to you on the show yesterday that I've had a tote bag with some gifts for us under my desk for like a month now. We've been meaning to open them up. These are things that the listeners have sent us, and if you have anything that you need to get to us, and again, I am not out here saying that the listeners need to buy us gifts. They do not. The listeners do so much for us already. But I do know that sometimes people like to reach out in some way. And so if you're looking to send something, the P.O. Box is, you can just send it to Too Beautiful to Live, P.O. Box 33687, Seattle, Washington 98133. It's also on the website in the contact section of tbtl.net if you're looking for that. But it looks like maybe, Luke, I got 2 packages here.
Okay.
I think it looks like some of them that were just like returned TBTL thank you gifts that didn't quite make it to the recipients overseas, so we don't have to worry about those. But we did get this package. This isn't a Prime envelope, but I believe it's a Prime envelope that maybe has either been
I can already see part of it.
Let's see. It's sent to me, and it's just from an Amazon fulfillment center, so I can't tell who this is from, but I can tell you what it is. It is a box, Luke, of your interest and mine combining. A box of 4 Minecraft Pez dispensers. What do you think of that?
I think it's amazing. What won't they integrate into a Pez dispenser?
These are very
Now the question
blocky.
is, are you going to eat the candy? Are you going to display the Pez dispensers? Are you going to find a? Well, I see you opening it, so I guess the question is.
Oh, do you think that I should keep it in the box so that it'll be worth a lot of money someday?
Or maybe, I don't know, you could pass it on to a Gus or some Gus is like 20 now.
Gus is older than me now.
How did he do that? I don't know. Some young Minecraft fan.
I mean, I'm happy to share these, but I still want the unboxing experience. You know, I wasn't going to open it right away until you reminded me that there's actually legit candy involved, and I do kind of want some candy. So let me take these out. So you have various characters, and unfortunately, I don't know the lore of Minecraft well enough, but I do know that this is like what I believe they call a creeper. These little things get close to you and they explode. This little green guy. This little guy with
I think that's a chicken jockey.
Oh.
Chicken jockey.
This is just a guy with a little beard, so I'm assuming that maybe that's the character that one plays. Maybe this is like the character.
Yeah, right. And that character has a name, and I believe is Jack Black playing him?
Probably. Look up
the Minecraft movie.
While I try to get to this.
Isn't his name Steve?
That sounds about right. Well, then who's this? Because here's another, just looks like kind of
That's
a normal
his
human
foxy
face.
lady.
Oh, okay.
Don't you think that might be a female character?
Maybe. I really have no idea, but I'm into it. And then the final one is I can't remember what these things are called, but they're the scariest thing in Minecraft. They go around. Is this the creeper?
A chicken jockey.
This is the chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey.
It's like the little black character. It's an all black sort of.
Do you encounter that when you're
character.
off in your solo homesteading experience? Because that's one of the things that's interesting is. I was always thinking, well, Andrew plays Minecraft, or you used to sometimes. I thought he'll know all of the Minecraft lore, but it sounds like you are a recluse.
Yeah, I don't know.
You kind of go off somewhere and you just do your thing, so you're not part of the whole larger chicken jockey conversation.
Well, the thing is, these things do pop up. I'm trying to get the candy open now. This is why you play the game, to get to the candy. When you're playing by yourself, you still encounter these I guess they call them mobs.
Okay.
Although I feel a little bit like a phony saying that. I don't know if I've ever used that term before, but I do think that's the proper terminology. Can you look up what is the scary monster?
Okay,
Scary
I can do this.
Minecraft.
Hold on, I'm on banjohangout.org. I'm going to see what
No,
they have
that's
to
where
say.
you're going to get what are these things called? Because the green guys explode on you, but then these black sort of ghost-like characters go around moving things, and they leave you alone unless, Luke, you look in their eyes. If you look directly in their direction, they freak out on you and they come running at you at lightning speed and just absolutely
Creepers,
destroy you.
Wardens, trident downed, skeleton horsemen, silverfish. Or any of
I
those?
think the creeper is the green guy that explodes. Let's see.
Okay.
Here. Let me see. I don't know.
I'm looking
man.
up the scary Minecraft mobs.
Yeah, I can't. Is it called? Well, this isn't really working out well. Either way, I'm going to eat the hell out of some of these orange Pez.
When I have to tell you, dude, start with the orange. When I was speaking of orange, I was in Orange, Connecticut at the U.S. Pez headquarters. And they make the candy there.
Ooh.
It's also where the gift. It's like where the museum is, but they also actually make the candy. And I got to eat the candy coming right out of the friggin' spigot. Like it was warm still.
This is as close to a Wonka experience as you would get.
It was pretty Wonka-ish.
I have not loaded a Pez dispenser since I was 8 years
Oh,
old.
I see. I
don't
like that
even
you're
know
going to
how
actually take
do
the
it.
time to load it. This is nice, as opposed to just basically mainlining the candy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This is good. You're doing it the responsible way. I just put my hand under like a friggin' waterfall of Pez
my
candies.
God.
And then just was eating them, and I was actually surprised at how good they were. I was having the orange as well, by the way.
Yeah, orange is what I had to dig for them too. Yeah, this is hard to do. I feel like there was a way that you were supposed to load it by, like, you could load them all at the same time if you carefully opened it, right? Or do you have to load them one Pez candy at a time, and so you're touching them all?
I am
before they even go in
guessing
there?
that the real heads, the people that, live this Pez lifestyle, and that's a thing, right? They have these Pez conventions where they just take over like an entire floor of a hotel, and everyone sets up a little display situation in their room, which is of all of their kind of cool and rare Pez. And apparently they've been, in talking to some of the people, they've been banned from certain hotels because there's so much Pez dust when they leave, because they're shooting each other with the Pez guns. And there's just like so much kind of leftover Pez problems. Oh, wow. That is actually really cool. Oh, look at that.
It's coming right out of
How is
the
that still
creeper's
genuinely
neck.
exciting?
It
in
really is. I mean,
2025?
can I eat on the air? Wow.
Yes.
My first Pez in decades. I don't know who sent this. You've made my day. This is delightful. I am a child again, Luke.
I know. I have to say, like, having done this little story on this whole thing and like gone out there, I was pretty shocked at how quickly I reverted back to my like 9-year-old self of just being like, this is legitimately cool. And also, I love this candy. Because I was also kind of thinking like, well, is this really a candy thing, or is this just like a, an excuse to have like a cool toy that has, Bart Simpson on it or something. But the candy's actually legit pretty tasty.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm glad I started with orange. That was good.
Yeah, I think that's
Probably drink some water
the
now.
top flavor.
Boy, I did one Pez and I can't broadcast anymore. I had to take a little sip of water. Now I got one more package here. This is a box. This is like a solid, like what's in the box? Looks like it's sent from listener Tiffany in California. In maybe Campbell, California, maybe. I don't want to give her assassination coordinates to everybody.
Not.
But
be a weird thing to go do to Tiffany after all she's trying to do is be nice to TBTL.
Right,
but
exactly.
you never know. People are crazy.
This feels, I will tell you this, as I struggle to open the box, it feels substantial. Whatever is in here, it feels expensive, Luke, and that's what I'm excited about.
Well, that's why I get half of it.
That's
I mean,
why
the
you
shipping alone was $19.
Oh, you can see that? Wow.
Is that on the box?
It is $19.15.
Jeez, that's a Sterlington ring.
Let me see here. There's a little card in here. There's some objects in here, but there's a card. And I will say this, Luke. While under TBTL law, I must share the Pez dispensers with you. We have to divide them up equally and the candy.
Yeah. But not this one?
Well, this has an envelope that just says Andrew on it. Now, this is where I get nervous because I'm bad at reading handwriting, and this is a pretty long one. But it does look like
Who's it signed by?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. So it is signed by Tiffany.
Okay.
I'm looking to relocate back to Australia, I think that says there.
Okay.
But I'm sorry that I can't read that. It's hard for me to read actual handwriting on the air cold like that. I kind of can't.
What I can tell Tiffany, by the way, is
Australia is a wonderful island.
That is for sure.
so just if you needed a little more encouragement to get out there to Australia, I can't believe that. Like I said, whatever's in there, it was $19 just to send it to us /you.
Today it can be yours for just $19.90.
It looks like this contains some snack spoons for cats.
What?
Maybe you put it. It says Cat Happy Spoon, the best partner of cat treats. How to use. I see. It's for chew-roos. Do you ever mess around with those chew-roos things? Those are like the squeezy little like kind of cat gravy, and it kind of gets your hand messy. So it looks like you can sort of like wedge one into here.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. And then you can like you can kind of like press it down and get all of the goo out of the churu without getting it all over yourself. That's
also,
a very clever invention.
It's smart because like the cats like to eat them directly out of those little packages, but Bingo, I think he's gotten a little bit better at it, but he is so ravenous at all times that he sees food and he becomes crazy. He starts eating the churu package, which then like kind of like freaks us out because we don't want that going through his gutty work. So that would prevent that. And then
Smart.
What else is in here is what looks like something that is quite...
Jeez. Excuse me. Are you getting some kind of a buried treasure record? What's it say on the cover?
This is record album. This is
oh,
what seems to be like
I see. Those are all like 45s.
A very ancient collection of 45s in a book.
Wow.
And we're talking, what are we talking here as far as what these records are? There's probably about 25 records in here. We got The Best of It by Thornshield. I don't know who that is.
Oh, sure. You got a Thornshield record?
I think it's first pressing on that.
Is that original?
The Voice of Scott McKenzie. What's the Difference? Chapter 2. I don't know what's going on there, but I need to go through all of these.
Was that
this
one
is
of the
really exciting.
kids in the hall, Scott McKenzie?
I believe so. He was the 6th kid in the hall. We got Dolly Dawn. We got Harry Belafonte singing Dolly Dawn. And
I just bought a Harry Belafonte record.
Yes.
Album, I should say. I'll tell you what is great about having a record player is no matter how shitty the garage sale, there's probably something you could buy there because Becca and I were walking around this very fancy neighborhood in Portland called Irvington because they had a neighborhood-wide garage sale. But we got there kind of late, like after the real hardcore people, so a lot of the stuff had been sort of picked over. But I still managed to pick up like 5 or 6 albums from this particular garage sale that I'm so excited about. One of them is Harry Belafonte. Like, it's just kind of fun having a record player so that any record you see at an estate sale, you could pick up and it could kind of, bring it home and take a listen.
I don't want to make you jealous, but I have a copy here of Jimmy Charles singing the Hopscotch Hop. So
are you
that's
kidding
not up
me?
my alley.
We're sharing this.
I don't
care what Tiffany wrote in that card. We're sharing this.
I'll give you one extra Pez dispenser, and I keep the records. But this is great. Thank you so much. So I got from the impression of Tiffany's note, without like kind of putting myself on the spot to read the whole thing, that maybe Tiffany is downsizing a little bit. And
why don't you just have AI preview it for you?
Yes, it's an AI summary.
I mean, the irony is this is a case where an AI summary would actually be useful for you, but it's a handwritten card, so that's not going to happen.
Exactly. But yeah, this is a lot of fun, and this was sent to me there back in late March. I'm sorry it took me a while to open it, but it's very, very sweet. So thank you both.
Thanks, Tiffany,
anonymous
and thanks
person and Tiffany.
Yeah, thanks, mystery Pez sender. I think I'm getting kind of a little bit of a taste of my own medicine with Walt and the Loader Pez thing that I got him.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Hobbit Pez thing that I got him.
What character was it? Just I'm eating more Pez.
It's the Hobbit, so it's kind of an assortment of characters from that particular movie. And one of the things I found out was he already has the Lord of the Rings kit set.
Pez Lord of the Rings?
The Pez. He already has the Lord of the Rings Pez.
Good grief.
So I got him the Hobbit Pez, which I just got, at the museum, at the gift shop there. But then in much the way that, I love my mom dearly and deeply, but there have been times historically where I've received a present from her, which I've then left at their house because maybe I had forgotten about it or I didn't know where I'd put it when I got home or whatever. And it's kind of like bummed my mom out. And I think I was always kind of like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Well, my dad has absolutely missed at least 5 opportunities to take this this box of commemorative Pez dispensers home with him. Like this Hobbit Pez dispenser collection, which is much like the Minecraft one you got, except it's with Hobbit things, is just sitting in a cabinet in my house. And has been since I gave it to him. Basically, I handed it to him. He was like, oh, cool. And then he put it in the cabinet. And now he has never, ever gone back to get it. And every time I open that cabinet to get something, I go, I don't think he liked that Hobbit Pez thing.
Hey, I want to now give a little bit more, now that I had a moment to pre-read this a little bit. So first of all, I misspoke, by the way. Tiffany is moving back to Austria, not Australia. And that, by the way...
Austria is also a wonderful island.
It is a wonderful island. I'm sorry for... And by the way, that is not that is on me for just not knowing how to read. This handwriting is fine. But it does sort of sound like Tiffany is not psyched about the situation here in the United States and its impacts on Tiffany's kiddo. So moving back to Austria and looking through all of the sentimental things that I was given by my grandpa before he passed. He loved music but couldn't have a music room in his small apartment the last few years. These are a few of the records that he found special enough to take to his small apartment. I don't have a record player and honestly never will. I love music too. So anyway, I will leave it there, but that's a little backstory on that. I was giving that a little bit short shrift because I was getting very nervous about reading on the air, but that's
because people do send us very serious notes sometimes, whether it's emails or even dazzling donor messages or the like, and we don't want to kind of like just accidentally, spill too many beans until we've had a chance to kind of preview things. But Tiffany, good luck in Austria. I mean, listen, I'm guessing, I haven't read the card, I'm guessing that that's also a pretty big sort of development in your life, and I'm sure it's not easy to move back to Europe. But on the other hand, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, right.
Austria doesn't sound like the worst place in the world to be right now, so hopefully you and your kid will settle in there just fine. And Andrew, I would like you, for your next Hey Dummies video, I'd like you to be feeding Bingo with your Churu device while playing that Harry Belafonte record.
Okay, sounds good. While I'm eating Pez.
While you're eating a Minecraft Pez.
Okay, sounds good.
Deal?
Oh, it looks like somebody's friendship bracelet bounced back to us, too. So if
what's that one say? Which one bounced back?
This one says slab jacking.
Oh, it's a slab jacker. Those were mine.
We got a slab. Yeah, I can tell. It's kind of loose. It's just like kind of shoddy quality.
Probably
yeah,
kind of.
Kind of like,
it was probably kind of on the loose
Here,
side.
let me see what the other one is, because we got 2 bounce backs. Let me.
So these are things that we mailed out.
They
were
kind of bounced back, and we reached out to the people, and I don't think they got back to us, so we're just going to have to...
Are you kidding me? Somebody didn't take time out of their day to make sure that they were securing their slab jacking
this one
bracelet?
This one is nice and tight. I love it, and it says Friendo, so that one must have been mine.
Yeah, sure. Good luck
like
getting
the way
it over
that you
your
and
wrist.
We had hundreds. We had dozens of TBTL listeners come and make hundreds of these bracelets on our behalf, and you and I are still claiming the craftsmanship of these things.
Right? So really what you're doing, Andrew, is you're insulting probably a good-hearted 10 who came out and made a slab jacking bracelet. You're probably insulting their handiwork.
Slab jacking.
Slab jacking.
I know you're trying to take me down right before the weekend, but you can't because you're really taking down a nice TBTL listener.
I'm sorry,
remain
listeners.
Totally unscathed.
Boy, what a way for me to be negative on a Friday as we try to wrap up a joyous week.
Nothing. You cannot diminish my excitement about this beautiful Friday and this beautiful weekend in front of us. So that is going to bring us to the end of this broadcast week. Thank you, everyone, for spending all this time with us here on TBTL. We are going to be back here on Monday. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa, mere moments from the world's largest truck stop, where I will, Andrew, be, I understand, getting my teeth cleaned and getting my hair cut, because the world's largest truck stop has both a dental office and a hair salon.
The Austria of America.
That's what I've always called it. In fact, I'm moving there because of the current political climate. So anyway, we'll be back here on Monday with more Imaginary Radio. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and please remember, no mountain too tall.
And good luck to all.
Power out.